Hi everyone. So today I recorded some gameplay, some raw gameplay from Bloodborne in Chat PS4. I did this with my iPhone, and the setup that I had to do was a bit tricky with some boxes on top of each other to record my monitor. But basically, OBS won't record really the generated frames. So if the game is running at 30 FPS and the generated frames are at 60, then the video output will just be at 60, so then you won't be able to see the generated frames. So in this case, what I did was I set up my iPhone to record the screen and then just do a test with the lossless frame generation, the previous version and also the new version, so you can see the improvements specifically on the characters. Flickering textures, right? So if you turn the camera, then the character will just flicker on screen, and I'll just go up with some examples with the raw gameplay. But yeah, I did the recording, and now I'm just going to comment a bit on the video. You can see we have the Shed PS4 here, and we're just going to select the patches. In this case I put 720p and not 480p like the last video, because I'm not using OBS to record. So since I'm not using OBS, then it's very easy on the GPU. And yeah, just going in game, and you'll see the real frames in the Vulkan, and then in the lossless here is the produced frames. But in this case, it's not really activated, so it's not real for now. But yeah. Oh, then I'm just going to kill this guy. Do mind that the stutters and everything is from the emulator itself, and I wanted this to be as raw as possible, so you can check how the emulator itself runs. But yeah, I'm going to lossless now. I'm going to select the previous version and activate it, and then you'll see now the lossless frames are correct, and you can see the character just flickering in and out. And then you can also hear the analog stick. So the input lag in this case isn't all that bad, because the frame rates are high. When you have close to 60, it's okay. And now we put the new version, and just a little bit of a flickering in this specific scenario. But you hear the analog stick, and the response you see on screen is much faster. And also if I put the armor, the flickering is even less. And now I'm going to also activate the previous version with the armor, so you can check. You see a little bit of a flickering as well. I mean, a lot of flickering right now. And now if I put the new version once again, then you see there's still maybe a bit, just a little bit on top of the character, but it's much better than before. And also in this specific view, then I think the flickering was even more pronunciated. But in other areas, like you see, the gameplay is perfectly fine. It's the max that YouTube will capture is 60 FPS, but you see the generated frames are well over 80, and the game itself feels real smooth. And if you listen to my analog, my controller, you can see that the time to press the button and have the action is really fast. It's like Now if I go up just a little bit, I have a specific test that I want to show. In this case, the frame rates will be a bit low to 30 FPS, but the gameplay itself is real smooth at 60 with just a little bit of flickering. But in this case, I will put the previous version of frame generation and you will see the improvements. Look. It's immediate to see. Not just a little bit of the top, but like the torso of the guy until the top is everything is flickering. But if we put again the new version, just look at the improvements. Look. Just a little bit off the top, like a new haircut, but just a little bit, and then the performance is great as you see. Everything else, like stutters or performance issues that I may have here, is just because of my low specs and the emulator itself is still ongoing. You see there is a lot of stutters in some parts, but this is not because of the frame generation. This is because of the emulator itself. But yeah, now I'll just let the game speak for itself. As you can see, really smooth. You will see the 60 FPS on YouTube for sure. And also another thing, I increased the brightness here because I thought you wouldn't see, but you can. Another thing is that the game is at 720p, but then it's also being upscaled to 1080p, I would say, with the FSR. It's using FSR to upscale a bit, and even if I use the 480p output, like in the last video I made, the quality of the image is much greater. I can honestly play at 480p with the upscaling from FSR. But as you can see, no graphical issues anywhere. And then I'm just going to go a bit into some parts at the end, so you can see in other areas as well. Yeah, some stutters always, but no flickering characters, no nothing. That was the major issue before, and it's just so good. Input lag is really reduced. So yeah, this 30 FPS feels really smooth. The input lag at 60 lossless or 90 lossless in this case isn't as good as 60 FPS natively, but the game itself feels really good to play. And you'll see that I will parry these guys with no issue really. If I fail the parries, it's because of lack of skill and not because of the generated frames. As you can see, no issue so far. It feels just really smooth, except the stutters, of course. And then, yeah, just this new update is really amazing, to be honest. As you can see, the game will stutter here, of course, because of the emulator. But if I go a bit to the front, you see, I mean, these new generated fake frames are great for low-end hardware, like in my case. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos on the subject, and see you later.